Okay, today we're going to be tying your classic stimulator. I use this all year round, different sizes, different colors. This one specifically, I'm going to be tying in a size 10. I got your curved hook from Daiichi. It's a 1260. I usually fish it in a size 10 just because it's a in between. I always have like a size 8 with me, and I always have a size 14 with me. So if the fish are hitting smaller things that day or bigger things that day, I usually use like the size 6 or 8 for an attractor. So if I'm using a small fly behind it or a nymph behind it, and then I fish size 10 most common just because it's your in-between size. So I'm going to start with a 70 uni thread in like a dun color just because it's a super universal color. And since we're doing the tail first, we can go ahead and just tie it right in the middle of your hook. Okay, once you get a little bit down your shank, about 2 eyelets lengths behind your hook, I'm going to be tying it in a little bit darker of a hair today. This is just a elk cow belly, like a dark, they call it a dun cow. I'm going to take a small pinch of elk hair out of the corner, and you can go ahead and I'm going to stack it. You don't necessarily need to stack it, but it does give it a very neat, nice look. And I'm going to take about a 3 eyelets length pinch off the back of that hook. And you can use this to form the size of your body. So I'm just going to wrap it all the way down. You can kind of see how the hair is all frayed there. Nice thing with the frayed hair is you can just pluck it. Now that I got the tail on, you're going to go right back down to where that tail attaches to the hook. And you're going to put whatever hackle you want on. I'm going to put like a cinnamon hackle on. I use this for a lot of like my natural dry fly patterns. So whatever hackle you decided to pick, you can go ahead, tie on right behind that tail. And then once you get that hackle nice and on, you can go ahead, grab your dubbing. I'm going to use like a super fine like caddis tan dubbing. Okay, and then once I get about 5 eyelets lengths behind the eyelet, just about a little fingernail length, you can go ahead and wrap your hackle. I'm going to do it very loosely because honestly the hackle does nothing for you. It does not float this fly at all. Since the elk hair is very hollow, that's what's going to be doing all of the floating for you. You don't even really need the hackle. It just gives it a nice buggy body look. These flies don't copy any fly specifically. It's to look like a bunch. So if you have a nice buggy look, it'll copy a bunch of different flies for you. So I'm gonna go and just trim that top just to give the rest of the elk hair a good base to sit on top of. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take another little chunk of hair. It all depends on the size hook you're using, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull those little baby hairs out just by holding the edge of those fibers. Okay, now that I have it stacked, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line it up with my hook, and you're going to take a hook's length. I'm going to cut a little diagonal in that just to give me a nice base to tie on. Okay, and with this head you want to give it like a nice kind of taper. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my same colored Hackle I used on the body. Again, this is not really doing anything for your floating. It's just to give it a little bit of a buggy head look. Then I'm gonna, in this specific fly, I'm gonna be taking the same dubbing that I used on the body. I made ones with like red heads or blue heads or like a bright head, because again, it'll allow it to make it to copy other flies. I'm gonna go ahead and just nice and tightly wrap this dubbing. See how nice and tapered that is going down that head? Now I can go ahead and wrap my Hackle. Okay, I put just 4 spins on this one. Go ahead and tie the Hackle off. 3 quick wraps. Now that I have that tied off, you can go and just whip finish your fly right there. And just like that, you got your classic Elk Hair stimmy. Go ahead and add that to the box.